An office within the University of Southern California School of Social Work announced it is removing the term field from its curriculum because it's racist. Hello noble ones and welcome to Metatron's Academy, the channel where we explore how to learn languages the most fun and effective way possible. So today I was just reading and I found this article that absolutely stupefied me. I literally lost at least 20 if not 30 IQ points. And I'd like to share it with you because I think it is of a linguistic matter. Now you already know that in my main channel I already fight historical revisionism and all of this like woke agenda that happens on that side, on the historical side, but on this channel I'd like to talk about the language side of things. And this one in here is the perfect example of how stupid some people are from the perspective of a linguist. Let's go for it. A UCS office removes field from its curriculum, citing possible racist connotations. Spoiler alert. It has none. An office within the University of Southern California School of Social Work says it is removing the term field from its curriculum because it may have racist connotation related to slavery. The newly renamed Office of Practicum Education, well, at least they chose a cool name, formerly known as the Office of Field Education, absolutely fine by the way, within the University's Suzanne whatever name School of Social Work is making the change in order to be more inclusive according to a memo sent out to faculty and students this week and obtained by NPR. They say, open quotes, "This change supports anti-racist social work practice by replacing language that could be considered anti-black or anti-immigrant in favor of inclusive language," the memo reads. "Language can be powerful, and phrases such as going into the field or field work may have connotations for descendants of slavery and immigrant workers that are not benign." Where do I even begin? Well, let's begin with this statement, language can be powerful. Oh, absolutely. Language can be powerful, unless we misuse it, in the sense that language can also lose its power. For example, let's have a look at the word racist. Now, this word used to have power, in the sense that I remember back in the day when if you heard someone saying, "Oh, that guy's a racist," immediately you go like, "Oh, a racist? Oh my gosh, what did he do? What did he say?" Like, the word used to be connected immediately to pretty nasty stuff. Now, however, the word racist has been, I can't think of any other better word to describe it, diluted to the point that because of its improper usage, in the sense that now everyone calls everyone a racist for absolutely no reason. Oh, you don't like pizza? You're a racist. You don't agree with me? You're a racist. You don't like this movie? You're a racist. You want a white phone? You're a racist. Because the word has been used and overused so much in incorrect contexts, this word has been stripped of its power. And now, compared to the, I want to say 80s or 90s, if I hear someone saying, "Oh, that guy's a racist," I immediately go into, yeah, okay, whatever. Because the word has lost its power due to this host of snowflakes and imbeciles that misuse it and lost its power. So yes, words have power, but if you misuse them, they lose it. That was the first point. But now let's examine this statement that they don't want to use the word field because it has quote-unquote racist connotations with anti-black or anti-immigrant sentiment. Well, first of all, I'd like to underline not all slaves in history were black. White slaves, believe it or not, European slaves existed. So if you really want to be inclusive, like you say, then you should remove that anti-black. It's anti-human being. Irish people were taken slaves by the Vikings. The etymology of the word slaves comes from Slav, Eastern European people. So already that shows you don't want to be inclusive at all. With that being said, let's say that, you're someone who says, "Hey, I don't want to use the word field anymore because to me feels like it's racist, so I don't want to use it." Great. Fuck it. Don't use it. I don't have a problem with that. If you don't want to use it for whatever reason, don't use it. It's not like I'm going to be like, "No,
you have to use the word field, otherwise."
It's fine, don't use it. But here's the problem. If they don't like it, if they don't want to use it, if it offends them, you can't use it. I can't use it. And that's the problem with this loud minority, even from a linguistic standpoint. And I think it's about time we talk about it. They decide what offends them, what doesn't offend them, what can be said, what shouldn't be said, and how things should be said. And if you don't agree with them, or if you don't comply, shut up and take it, you get cancelled. and then you are the fascist. Again, not historical channel here. I'm not gonna go and dive into what it actually means to be a fascist, but you know what I mean. But is it racist to say field? Is it true from a linguistic standpoint that this word has racist and non-benign connotations? Let me dismantle this statement. So they say that field work, or like the field of medicine, it's racist because it's connected to the slaves work in the fields. Then I think that if they did study history, or if they had ever opened a book in their entire life, they would also know that a lot of slaves, if not the majority, worked in homes. I mean, literally, look at ancient Rome and ancient Greece. The amount of slaves that Roman patricians and people of power, wealthy people had work in their homes is overwhelming. Ancient Athens, you think all of their slaves were in the fields? No, they weren't. The majority of slaves were in their homes. Hence, by their own logic, if the word field is racist, because it can be connected to field work in the sense that slaves were working into the fields, then so is the word house and the word home. Then you shouldn't say welcome to my home, you need to change it, welcome to my abode, I suppose. We would also, of course, have to remove every connotation of the word and every usage of the word home and house. For example, House of Commons, House of Lords. Remove, oh my gosh, House of Lords. That's like double bad. Also considering the fact that as we keep on reading, even words such as master are racist and have to be removed and cancelled. Well then, I imagine, and if any of these people happens to be religious, well, good luck saying, Lord, please help me, because, I mean, if master is racist, then the word Lord is also racist. And good luck paying your rent to your landlord. Goodness gracious, landlord? The word field is a neutral word. It's not a swear word, it's not a bad word, it's not vulgar. It's a neutral word, just as the word knife is a neutral word, in the sense that it doesn't intrinsically have any negative connotation. A field is a field, it's a place, it's a natural situation, it has specific descriptive connotations. Now, of course, you've got farmers, whom, by the way, you're insulting with this cancelling, because farmers, like for example, my wife's grandpa, he owns land, he plants cotton and sweet corn, he absolutely loves it. He loves working in the field. So there is no negative connotation for him. And for all the different farmers out there that work hard to provide you with your bread and pasta and anything you eat. You also have the field of battle. Of course, during a battle people die, but the field itself is not the problem. It's the hatred. It's the other, I want to say, harsher words that are on top of it and use the field as a neutral medium to express that violence. And then, of course, you've got the situation in which you have a field, but slaves work the field. By their own logic, then anything that was ever used to enslave or used by slaves should be cancelled. Slaves use hammers, nails to build stuff. By extension, you cannot say hammer, you cannot say nail, you cannot say pitchfork, because all of these things were used in those same fields by those same slaves. Given a pitchfork was also used by someone who simply works the land, but so is a freaking field. This is why the word field is not racist. Of course, I'm not saying that we should tolerate racial slur. Racial slur is wrong because it's used to specifically attack and insult people, but we're not done. Let's keep reading. The change at the USC school comes as a growing number of entities take steps to remove terminology with ties to slavery or racism. Within the computer science field, some people are ditching terms like master and slave, while the Girl Guides of Canada recently renamed its brownies branch. Okay. So you cannot say brownies, I suppose, the sweet either, because that's offensive. How is it offensive, since it's a descriptive term? Chocolate is brown. The term brown isn't an insult. And if I was a person of color, I would be insulted by this. Also, once again, as I was saying, if the word master is racist, I imagine also your master bedroom is racist, considering the fact it does have connotations to the early 1800s and 1900s America and the usage of that term, master, in the sense of the master of the house. So I suppose the word master bedroom is also racist. So how is the word landlord or almighty lord not racist then? selective a little bit, double standards a little bit. And 2 officers within the Michigan Health Department announced this month that their employees will no longer use the term fieldwork, according to a memo obtained by NPR. Proving my point. They are offended by it. Their employees will no longer use the term. It doesn't matter if they agree with them or not. You use the term we don't like, you are fired. Hence cancelled. Hence the problem. If they don't want to use it, don't use it. Mildred Joyner, the president of the National Association of Social Workers, said she applauds the UCS office for its change. And while she isn't aware of other universities doing the same, thank the Lord, she disagrees with those that say the office is going too far. She says, "I don't know what going too far means," she said. "Does that mean going too far to treat people with dignity and respect and remove all language that oppresses people? Then kudos to that department. That is an SJW if I've ever seen one." No one is treating people with disrespect by saying, "I love the field of medicine." It's a completely different usage of the word field in the sense of there is wheat everywhere. And the fact that this person doesn't understand that surprises me since she is the president of an association. How the heck did she become the president of an association? Like literally, this is how stupid this is. Check this out. She says, "Does that mean going too far to treat people with dignity?" I can already apply their stupid logic to this sentence and dismantle it. For example, when you say far, because far can also be intended as far away from me, so other countries, and therefore you want to keep people far away, so you're against immigrants. And also you say treat people with respect. Do you mean that people are a treat, like the treat you give to your dog? If that's what you mean, then that's racist and I cancel you and you cannot say the word treat. Welcome to 2023. Look at this animal. This is a guinea pig. Now this word was used as a racial slur against Italians in the 1900s. So, does that mean that now the word itself should be cancelled? Should I, as an Italian, be offended if you tell me, "Oh, guinea pigs are so cute"? Should we remove the name of the animal? And in fact, what about the country, Guinea? Should I be offended by the name of the country? Should we cancel that? And if someone is studying the history of Guinea in a class at university, then no, it needs to be called the history of that country, because you cannot name the country because it's connected to racial slur. The NASW has publicly acknowledged the role the social worker profession plays in perpetuating racism, citing examples like discrimination in the child welfare system and disparities in healthcare. All wonderful, but it has absolutely nothing to do with this. So you've literally taken a paragraph that has nothing to do with this, fed it into an article that is otherwise about language, and achieved absolutely nothing if not to annoy the reader. Absolutely there is disparity in healthcare and stuff like that. What does that have to do with language? We have certainly made mistakes, but we are also a group of professionals committed to helping, lifting up and advocating for oppressed and marginalized groups of people and fighting injustice in society. You see, I know that someone, when I said social justice warrior, someone said, "Well, you shouldn't use that term." Well, there you go. She's fighting injustice in society. It was a perfect definition. The memo from the UCS office, which quickly gained attention on social media, is being met with both support and derision. It doesn't surprise me. And students within the department are also split over the decision, according to Daily Trojan. A campus newspaper, students told publication that they were unsure whether the term field truly had racist connotations, and some considered it to be a stretch. It's not a stretch, it's utter complete nonsense. And I understand why these students are not going boldly about this. They're like, I'm not really sure if it does have racist connotation. Maybe it's a little bit of a stretch, sort of. They are saying it like this with kind of weak language because they're afraid that they will get expelled, because that's how these people work. But they can't expel me because I already have a degree. I don't need them. Therefore, I can take a stand and say firmly, this is complete bullshit. Mr. Homan David Hemmati, MD, PhD, says on Twitter, today, UCS Social Work sent out this letter announcing that they will no longer use the word field, as in conducting field work, because it's perceived as racist. Is this with merit or empty virtual signaling? Is it virtual signaling? Possibly. I mean, I would have to see because that's another word that sometimes is overused. I would have to see if they are being hypocritical and they still use words, probably they are, and they still use words that could have racist connotations, but they like those words, so it only works with their double standard. So maybe it is virtual signaling, but more than virtual signaling, I think the best way to describe it is that this is cancel culture at its purest form. A USC official told NPR that the decision is being made from one office within the department and not the university as a whole. Yeah, you would have to make this one in bold. Just a suggestion. The university does not maintain a list of banned or discouraged words. Elizabeth A. Grady, the university's interim provost and senior vice president for academic affairs, said in a statement to NPR, "We will continue to use words including field that accurately encompass and describe our work and research." Beautifully said. Noble ones, what can I say? It is one of those situations, I guess, but it is important to stand up and say what's right. They don't want to use it, be my guest. Freedom, I say. But if you want to take my freedom of using words that are in fact not racist whatsoever from any logical standpoint, then it's important that we stand and unanimously say, no.